If you're part of the lucky 1%, then you owe it to the rest of humanity to think about the other 99% of humanity. That is a direct quote by Mr. Warren Buffett. This man, everybody's heard his name, and he's well known mainly because of how wealthy he is. But the second biggest reason that he is well known is his charity work. His charity work, his donations, the various things he does in his name and in other names. He is a big leader when it comes to the wealthy and corporations donating to charity. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about corporations donating to charity, or more to the point, how it actually benefits corporations to be charitable and to donate, which is something most people don't really think about. They're thinking companies, they think, well, they're here to make a buck. People don't really think, hey, these guys are in good position to actually help out and help out a lot of other people, and in the process actually help themselves. Nobody actually really thinks about that. So this is what we're going to discuss. We're going to try and show you why it's a good idea and why I think this is a positive for everybody, not just the companies, but for us as well. For starters, there's a lot of different kinds of charitable donations you can make. For example, there are scholarships, which are great, especially when you're in college. Hi, how you doing? We're in college right now. A lot of people in college right now they're on scholarship. A lot of those scholarship dollars came from corporations that put money in. How does this help? How does this help a company? Well, quite simply, that creates an educated workforce. An educated workforce can be put to work later on and can help a company make more money in the process and create better goods. You have other things like after-school programs to help troubled children, pull them up. You have such things as, and here's a big one that a lot of colleges actually do make money off of as well, medical research grants and science grants. Again, this is something that a corporation could donate into to help further along scientific and medical reliance. One of the biggest ones that everybody knows of, cancer research, breast cancer research. Corporations the worldwide have been throwing money into it, and guess what? We're getting closer, so have people. This is an aspect that can help everybody as well as the company. Company putting in money, helping everybody else, and in the process, helping themselves. Now, how is it that a company can actually benefit from charity? Well, there's a lot of ways. Number one, and excuse me here for a moment, but it has actually been found by stats that a company that gives to charity and is also incredibly profitable is actually seen very, very well by people. This was found by Sarah Morris in her book, Philanthropy and Corporate Reputation. She discovered that a company that actually made a lot of money if they gave money away actually had a better view from the people than a company that only made a little bit of money and gave it away. Because they made so much, they could give away more, and they did. So it made people really like that company. Now, how does that help a company, though? We talk about how they favor, but how is that? Well, let me tell you. Number one, the fact that a company is willing to go ahead and put money out there, it creates a sense of goodwill amongst the people. What this does is then people talk about their products. They talk about the brand. This is such a great company. This is what we should follow. We should buy their products. We should help them out. If anybody wants an example, everybody knows the story about Chick-fil-A. It's a very religious company, and they donate millions of dollars to various grants and institutions. They don't work on Sunday. The example of this, granted, I know that's a religious aspect. The reason I bring it up, however, is because that has generated such enormous goodwill amongst the people that go there that they have loyal followers that keep going back. And that's the same thing. When you build up that brand reputation and that brand recognition, you are going to have more and more loyal followers. Now, here's an example of how this worked. Okay, according to Jeff Slutsky and Mark Slutsky, as they wrote in The Benefits of Charity, an example was a restaurant called Luby's. Luby's was a restaurant, it was doing pretty well, and there was a local church that needed a new roof. So what Luby's decided to do is they talked to the church and they created these certificates. And they could be handed out to all the parishioners and to everybody around town. And what happened is that you would use this certificate when you went to Luby's and you bought something at that restaurant. And every time you used that certificate, Luby's would donate $5, just $5, to the fund to repair the church roof. Well, guess what? It worked smashingly. Not only did it work smashingly, number one, Luby's, you had all the people, because of the certificates, going to the restaurant to buy because they wanted to help the church. So we're going to go eat and do something simple for ourselves, and in the process, have Luby's help the church. went real well. So you had a lot of people coming in. Number two, goodwill from the community. The community loved them. Luby's isn't going anywhere now. And part three, increased profits. Not only did you have the people coming in to use the certificates, but because of the goodwill that was created and the great reputation that was created by Luby's, now what you have are returner customers. People would come in all the time now. The repeat business is huge. The benefits for a corporation to donate is so much greater than the problems that it can create. It is so much greater than the negatives. And I highly recommend that every company out there at least takes a look at it. Look at your books and see what you can and can't do, and give it a shot. If you can't, you can't. But if you can, and I'm talking to all you guys out there as well, future entrepreneurs, I'm looking right at you. That's right, you. You need to think about it as well, because there's going to be a point where this can help you as well, and you're helping everybody else. Again, as Warren Buffett said, and as I said in the beginning, when you're part of the lucky 1% of humanity, then it is your obligation to think about the other 99%. And if a dude like Warren Buffett, who sits there with Bill Gates and they talk about charity, if they think it's a great idea, and these are not dumb people, there may be something to what they say. So give it a thought. I hope you will. I appreciate it, everybody. It's been fun. Have a good night.